Every year, it seems that it's the same thing. People make resolutions to lose weight, cut out sugar, and exercise more. But statistics indicate that many people fail within the first few weeks. The key, says Mayo Clinic experts, is to be realistic and to think about opportunities to live healthier overall. So today we welcome Dr. Dawn Musalem, an integrative medicine doctor from Mayo Clinic, to share her top tips for a healthier 2023. Good morning. Thank you for being here with us.
Good morning, Brianna. Thank you so much for having me. Exciting topic. It's the new year, and so this is the time for us to set a lifestyle plan into place. It doesn't have to be perfect. It should be something that's actionable. And you're right, by February, about half of all people that set forth New Year's resolutions will no longer be taking part of what that original goal was. And by the end of the year, only 9% of those people are on board still with their New Year's resolution. And so really, again, it should be more about an overall lifestyle pattern that we're implementing. And one of the main reasons that people do not succeed in their New Year's resolution or really any health goal that they set out is because they don't set a realistic goal. And so oftentimes, we'll hear from folks that, what's your New Year's resolution? And the common ones are what you said, is to exercise more or to eat healthier or to lose weight. So we could just use losing weight as an example. Someone may come in and say they want to lose 100 pounds. Well, that's not very specific. They did measure it by wanting to lose 100 pounds, but it may not be realistic, right? And what I find is the biggest thing that matters with success of any health-related goal is why you want to do that goal. Why do you want to lose those 100 pounds? Do you want to lose the 100 pounds to fit into the jeans you wore in high school? Or do you want to lose those 100 pounds because the doctor recently told you you have coronary artery disease, and you know that if you don't lose that weight, that you're going to end up with a surgery? Or if you don't lose that weight, that perhaps you're not going to be able to play with your grandkids or your own children. But maybe we need to look at 100 pounds, and maybe we need to set something more realistic, like 5 pounds to start with.
And that's a really good point, because so many people struggle with this. I'm one of those people who struggle with that. So I'm curious to see like a breakdown with exercise. Let's say you want to exercise more. I want to exercise more. How can I start to break that down so that I'm not overwhelmed and I can actually stick with that goal for the new year?
Brianna, I love how you asked that question, and that's so very important, because we shouldn't set out to start running a marathon or even running a 5K. And the main goal is just to be physically active. And so we know that the recommended activity level for optimal health is 150 to 300 minutes of physical activity a week. But that would be really hard to start there, right? So maybe we need to start with something very, very small. Some people use fitness trackers, and so measuring your steps can be a great way to start. The average American gets about 3,000 to 4,000 steps a day. And when we look at steps, about 2,000 steps for the average American is equal to about 1 mile. And so we know that measuring steps can be a real easy way to do this. And there was a fabulous study that was published last year that actually showed that by getting 7,000 steps a day, that you can improve overall survival and mitigate many chronic diseases. So, oftentimes we're thinking 10,000, 12,000 steps, but you can get a health benefit by as easy as just attaining those 7,000 steps. So where do we start? Let's say you're only getting 3,000 steps a day right now. Every 2 weeks, you would want to increase those steps by about 1,000. That's a great way to start. And walking and just movement is really what we're looking at, just being physically active. And as you know, Blue Zones is coming to Jacksonville, Florida. And when we look at the Blue Zones, the areas of the world where people are most with the lowest risks of chronic diseases, we see that these individuals thrive into their very elderly years, well into 100, because they move, they're active. So it doesn't mean that you need to be blood, sweat, and tears in the gym. Just move your body. And so maybe a simple goal is to take the steps at work, or if it's hard for you to go up the steps at work, maybe just take the steps going down at work to start with. But just being more physically active is really what we want to promote. And then a study that was published in Nature Medicine just on January 4th of this year showed a wonderful result with improved outcomes, where when patients did just short bursts of activity during the week. So say you're late for your meeting and you're going to walk really fast. They saw improved health outcomes, which is simple bursts of activity during the day. So again, bottom line is just be more active, move your body.
All right, I love that so much. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Don Salem. It was a pleasure having you on this morning.
Thanks, Brianna.